Well, all right. So we're back at her again here. Day number 2. Obviously, every day is a new day or something, or maybe nothing as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, so basically what's going on now, give you a little update. So I replaced this guy. Like I made a new one. It's just a ground strap there. And I also replaced this alternator because the pulley on the other one just sounded like garbage. I mean, this one doesn't sound that good either, right? Should have checked it before installing it. Yeah, that's where I'm at now. I got that installed. Now it's time to put the water pump on. But if you do recall, this happened, right? That's not goodness. That's badness. I'm going to try to make a new one of these. I tried to order that guy through the Nissan. It's a specialized part, right? So I tried to order it through Nissan, but it's 2 to 4 weeks, right? And I can't be having the bird down for 2 to 4 weeks, right? That's not going to work. So basically we're going to Macgyver one. So I went and got a bolt with similar thread pitch, right? Well, I can't tell on that, but it's the same thread pitch. Maybe I should put it into the block first. What this is just a little receptacle. It's a bit longer, this one. Holy shit, buddy, just speak normally. So this one goes in there, and then one of these guys threads into the top of it. So we gotta have one that's the same length. So I got a bolt that's yay big, this much bigger, right? This head length longer. I'm gonna try screwing into it and putting washers on the other side, and that'll pretty much be it, right? Hopefully that doesn't suck, guys. I'm gonna really try on this one. And surprisingly, it actually didn't suck, guys. As you can see there, I was measuring to find the exact center of the bolt head there, but I didn't really find that, but I was close. I was able to screw a straight hole into it, giggity, which is like, that's a first. And then I tapped a straight hole as well. Giggity. So it was a day of firsts. The reason why we're doing this is the big bolt that I'm screwing into holds on the water pump, and then the little bolt that screws into the head of the big bolt is what holds on the timing cover. I just basically didn't want to have to go and order the specialty bolt that was like 2-3 weeks away or something. You can see right now I'm lining up the 2 bolts there to see exactly how much of the bolt head of the other bolt I have to grind off to make up for the size of the bolt head on the new bolt, if that makes any sense. Which it doesn't. You know how I am, right? I like to make things just well enough to pass, usually, right? And then, you know, Bob's your uncle if he is your uncle. If he's not your uncle, then I mean, who is, right? I don't care. You probably should, though. I don't know. Well, all right, guys. I'd say that's a success. Got that guy going there. I ground it down so it's the right length now. Tapped it a little bit further on the edge there, a little bit further down because the neck wasn't the same size as the other one. So now it's pretty much the same as this guy. So check this. So I tapped the hole in there, threaded the bastard in, and there is the piece tear resistance that's not exactly done yet, but it's close. This is the old bolt actually, right? The old bolt head. I ground that down to make up for the clearance on this guy. No, to make up for the clearance on this guy, because you see how the bolt head's a little bit big. So now it's the exact same size as it was, and it should be working now. There you go. That's gonna go in here. So there it is. That's the little guy. So he's threaded in there. That's all it is, guys. Fixed her. Hello, deadly. Now comes the real test. Torque them all down. Torque them. That's going to be grand. That's going to be fun. Why don't we just do that now? All right. Torque them. Okay, so basically these bolts, the reason why I take 2. I'm just applying a little bit of Loctite on there. Tiny bit of the blue, right? The blue Loctite. Just because that's all I had hanging around. This is going to probably strip the shit out of the block later. But, I mean, for now we're good, right? So I'm just starting to make. I'm going to actually torque them here shortly. These are different lengths. The top guy was shorter. Hacking. No harm, no foul, right? Why would it be the same size? It's not even the same bolt. It's not even the same bolt. Just screaming in the garage again. It's a tartine. So now I looked up the torque on this one, guys. Did I even bring it down? I don't know where the sheet is that I wrote the torques on. Oh, there it is. So 12 to 15 foot-pounds is what it says. I got my torque easy going. The Dijotl, it's got a 12 to 15. I'm going to do 15s, but I'm just going to do them as steps. So not torque them all the way. Go around to each one and wait to get to the final torque. Just going to do a crisscross pattern. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want it to go on evenly. I'll switch to the 13 mil. Thanks a lot. So that one's torqued down. Let's do the others. Torque them. And finally my 13. All right, guys, I think we can call that me. So if your water pump didn't come with these little guys, or you got new ones to put in, you want to make sure you put a little bit of this guy on there, the thread sealer, and then literally just tighten these in to hand tight till they seat. You don't need to go insane on them. Just do it on all 3 of them. A little overkill on that one, guys. A little overkill on that one too, guys. But I mean, what are you going to do, right? So you see this thing? This is going to assist in putting the belt on. That's all it does. So when you're putting the belt on, this little spring is going to help to lift that up here, and then you do your own tension after. Now's the time to put the timing belt on. So there's little lines on the belt on this particular one. So those ones is for the cam, and this guy at the bottom is for the other one. Make sure your timing marks are lined up. And then, like I said, on the bottom one, on the crankshaft down here, they give you one on the pulley, but not on this, so I just marked it on there myself. I don't know what the way to do this is, the correct way, but I'm going to line these up. So you want to line those up, line that up, and then I'm going to be lining this guy up down here. Oh yeah, this right side camshaft rotates. Well, they both do, but this one rotates worse than the other one, so it's not lined up there anymore. The whole bastard moved there. This is really hard to do when it's filming, so I'm gonna get back at you when it's done. Well, all right, guys. Got the timing belt on there. It's looking like this. So we're lined up there, pretty much lined up there. It looks like it's leading a bit, like it's a bit forward, but I'm pretty sure that's just the way these engines are. And then the final one right there. What we're gonna do, we're gonna crank the engine over once and see if they're still lined up after one. Like, we're gonna crank it over by hand. That's just the best way to do it, right? Because then you're not gonna wreck the engine. I mean, this engine's not an interference engine, so you don't really have to worry. You could break the timing belt going down the road if you wanted to. I mean, if you knew how, I guess. So the cylinder head would be fine, right? You wanna go in the direction of the engine, so in this case, I'm going that way. I don't know if that's the right way. Probably should have just skipped this part, eh? So we're coming back around now. Okay. So that one's on. Keep in mind the line's not going to be on the top of the belt because it's got to rotate around, but as long as we're lined up timing wise, this one's going to be a surprise for me after, because I can't see it, but you guys can. I'm gonna assume it's on. Basically, so all that's left now is to tension the belt up so that there's like half an inch, quarter of an inch, probably 3/8 of an inch, maybe 5/16, 15/16, 20/19, 2020. Finish what you were saying, bud. So the belt deflects like a certain amount. Just look it up. 22 foot-pound and I think half an inch of deflection. I just go by feel. Just get her tight. So I'm just gonna do that, and then the rest of this is gonna be time-lapse. All right, so the cover's going on there, guys. The bottom cover, gonna do up those 8 to 10s or whatever they are. Got the top cover going on there. Gonna do up those bolts too, right? That's how you hold stuff together, is with bolts, you know, who knew? Next, you're gonna wanna be putting on the crankshaft pulley there. Just use the bolt to tighten her down, and then right after that, take it right back off because there's a bolt in behind there that you forgot to tighten, and it's scratching up at the back of the pulley, making a loud squeaking noise. So once you tighten the bolt that you left loose, then you want to be putting this all back together, finagling and fumbling with that stupid whatever that thing was, and tighten her up there. You're going to want to hit her up to about 160 foot-pounds. I mean, the spec is like 156 foot-pounds, but I mean, I'm not a mathematician, right? I can't really count to even or even odd numbers. I don't know. I don't even know what they are. Now we're going to put back in that compressor there after hanging out, wasting some time staring at our job that we're not doing. Okay, there we go. And I had that out to do the alternator. Obviously, you guys didn't see that because this job was taking forever. It's getting embarrassing. I just wanted to get it done, right? So we got the hose going on, got the clamps going on, got the pipe going on. Don't get excited. Got the pulley going on there, belt going on. Whoa, don't get excited again. Then we got the tensioner bracket thing on the top there going on. That's pretty exciting. So you can probably get excited about that if you feel like it. So the radiator's going in there now. Definitely didn't leave the drain on the bottom of that loose and drive around for weeks after this with it leaking coolant everywhere. That certainly didn't happen. But I mean, if it did happen, all you have to do is tighten it up, right? But luckily for me, it didn't happen. So we're just going to continue along here, looking on from a distance. Can't really see what's going on because the camera angle is just abysmal. Even if you zoomed in, it's just pixelated. But we can tell how the fan's going in there. We got a guy there standing with too tight of a shirt and too loose of pants. But that's because his mom allowed him to dress himself too early in life, and he never really learned how. But yeah, so shortly after I get everything all buttoned up here, we're going to put the coolant back in. I don't think I videoed that. And then after that, we're going to be firing it up. I mean, obviously, not a few weeks or months later because we forgot to film it or anything like that. If somebody did forget to film it, I mean, they'd obviously be wearing a different shirt or something, right? Obviously, you'd be able to tell. Oh. 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 Hey. Oh. Yep. Acid himself out. So yeah, there you have it. Probably an exhaust leak there, bud. And we ran it just long enough not to gas ourselves, but the longer we stay in here, the more likely we are to get gassed. So anyway, like, favorite, scuba dive, do all that stuff. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers, right? Let's get her, all right? Like, favorite, subscribe. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I'm spitting everywhere. God. I mean, you only got yourself to blame. Plan your videos, bud. Come on.